Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahansa Pariprajaka Stotra Sri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Namacharya Shri Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Se Kaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kundi Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navadip Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mahi Ki Jai Jamuna Mahi Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
Welcome everybody to Srimad Bhagavatam reading with His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami. It is Wednesday, January 7th, 2026 now. And Guru Maharaj, is it right that we're starting with 77 now?
That's what I have.
Yep. Okay, so 4:24:77. Do you want to start?
Okay. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Give me just 1 second. Mindate Purusho Mushmad Yad Yadich Chatya Satvaram Vad Gita Gitat Supratach Treyasame Kaballabhat. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is the dearmost objective of all auspicious benedictions. The human being who sings this song, sung by me, can please the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Such a devotee being fixed in the Lord's devotional service, can acquire whatever he wants from the Supreme Lord. As stated in the Bhagavad Gita, Yam labdva chaparam labham manyate nadhikam tataha. If one can attain the favor of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, he has nothing to aspire for, nor does he desire any other gain. When Dhruva Maharaj became perfect by austerity and saw the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face, he was offered any kind of benediction he wanted. However, Dhruva replied that he did not want anything, for he was perfectly satisfied with the benediction of seeing the Lord. Except for the service of the Supreme Lord, whatever we want is called illusion, Maya. Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Jiver Swarupoi Krishner Nityadash. Every living entity is an eternal servant of the Lord. Therefore, when one engages in the service of the Lord, he realizes the highest perfection of life. A faithful servant can fulfill any desire by the grace of the Master, and one who engages in the transcendental loving service of the Lord has nothing to aspire for separately. All his desires are fulfilled simply by engaging constantly in the Lord's loving service. Lord Shiva shows us that any devotee can be successful simply by chanting the prayers which he has recited. Om Jnana Timirantasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurn Militam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhistam Stapitam Jena Bhutale Swayam Rupakada Mahyam Dadhati Shapadantikam Pandehang Shri Guru Shri Jatapadakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Shagrajatam Shahagana Raganatan Vitam Stam Sajivam Sadvaitam Svavadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Shahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhan Vitamscha. Hey Krishna Karuna Sindho Dina Bandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Prishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Haripriye Vanchakolpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhobhyevacha Patita Nam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shiva Shri Gaur Bhaktivinoda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Ram Ram Hare Hare. So, what Gita Supritaj, when one chants this song sung by Lord Shiva, the Supreme Personality of Godhead becomes very pleased. Supritaj. And then one can achieve yad ichchati, whatever one wants. Yad ichchati means whatever it is that one might desire. All desires can be fulfilled by the person who chants this song and who's fixed in the Lord's service. Asatvaram means fixed, steady. Shreyasam, one can achieve the greatest benedictions from Balabha, from the dearmost objective of all auspicious benedictions, Krishna. And Prabhupada gives the example of Dhruva Maharaj, who achieved the benedictions he desired. But then Prabhupada says that to have desires other than desire for the service of the Lord is actually illusion. And therefore we find elsewhere that Krishna doesn't always give us what we desire. He considers whether it's for the benefit of the devotee. But finally, Krishna does arrange things in such a way that all one's desires are more than fulfilled. We desire some small thing that was there. We wanted some little bit of glass, and Krishna gives jewels. So, yes. All right. Any comment, question?
Saraswati.
Pranams Parampujya Gurudev and all the Vaishnavas. Guru Maharaj, would it be all right to share something that I read that relates more with text, the previous verse, 76, about this Rudra Sampradaya? There were some details that I hadn't known. I don't want to move too further. It was from Bhaktivinoda Maharaj's Navdvip Mahatmya, and this is what he said. He said, once in Rudradvip, Vishnu Swami arrived during a tour and stayed with his followers. He recited beautiful prayers from Shruti and chanted Haribol. Lord Shiva became very pleased seeing Vishnu Swami's bhakti, and in the form of Nila Lohita, who is the leader of the 11 Rudras that always reside in Rudradvip, chanting the glories of Gauranga. So Vishnu Swami was very startled at first when he saw Lord Shiva, but recited wonderful prayers in glorification of the greatest Vaishnava, Lord Shiva. Lord Shiva responded by saying that Vaishnavas are so dear to him and there isn't anything he wouldn't do or bless them with, and he asked for any boon. So Vishnu Swami, in great reverence, begged from Lord Shiva to form a perfect Vaishnava Sampradaya, founded by him, Lord Shiva, teaching pure bhakti. Lord Shiva, in great bliss, consented and named his Sampradaya after him, Rudra Sampradaya. Lord Shiva in Rudradvip, along with all the other Rudras, forever sing the glories of Gaurachandra. So he instructed Vishnu Swami in specifically worshipping Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to attain Gaura Prema. As Vishnu Swami became absorbed in love for Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in a dream, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appeared and told him that only by Lord Shiva's mercy did he, along with his followers, become part of this sampradaya, and they will become Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, they are and will become Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's devotees, attaining Gaura Prema Krishna Prema here in Navdvip. He ordered Vishnu Swami to go forth to preach Shuddhvait, purified monism philosophy. Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu continued that soon he too will appear in Navdvip, and at that time Vishnu Swami will take birth again as Vallabha Bhatt, and he will meet him personally in Puri. Moreover, Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu blessed Vishnu Swami, saying that this Rudra Sampradaya will be perfect once Vallabha goes to Mahavan. In fact, on the Navdvip Parikrama, where Lord Nityananda Prabhu took Jiva Goswami, Lord Nityananda Prabhu told Jiva Goswami that he will in fact meet Vallabhacharya in Gokula. And Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said he takes two main teachings from all of the four sampradayas, and the two he took from the Rudra Sampradaya is, number one, sentiments of exclusive dependence on Krishna. Therefore, that Pushti Marg mantra is Sri Krishna Sharnam Mama. And the second thing he took is path of Raga Bhakti. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you. Anything else?
Yes. I'm wondering, why is it that Krishna granted Dhruva Maharaj the big universe? Why is that a feature of sometimes Krishna's reciprocation with the devotee's previous desire?
Yes, that's Krishna's mercy. It's not that Krishna, we've mentioned this before, that Krishna has to always do the same thing. He responds individually to individual devotees, sometimes according to their desire, sometimes according to his desire, according to what he may wish to teach or what he may wish to bestow. He's not a machine. You put a penny in the slot and this is what you get. It's individual and personal. So in this case, he thought, all right, let's give him what he's asked for. And actually, Dhruva Maharaj felt ashamed that I was stupid. I approached the Lord for these material things, although he dedicated such, what would you say? Dedicated himself with such austerity and devotion just to get the kingdom. But then when he got it, he thought it was foolish of me. I should have prayed for pure devotional service. So the entire pastime is instructive, and it's all these pastimes are under Krishna's ecstatic control, or yes, benedictory control. Is that okay?
Yes, thank you, Dhruva Maharaj.
Otherwise, it becomes karma kanda, practically speaking. That you do this and you get that. You do this and you get that. That's how the karma kandiya people work. If I do this ritual and this ritual, then I'll get this. And so to get that particular result, they perform that ritual. But Krishna consciousness is very, yes, it's personal and involves personal reciprocation between the devotee and the Lord. And the Lord does what he wants, finally, according to what he thinks will best benefit the devotee and the world. Shall we move on?
Yep, nothing in the chat.
Idamya kolya uttaya pranjali shrattayan vitaha shanuyat stravayen murtyo muchyate karma bandhanaihi. A devotee who rises early in the morning and with folded hands chants these prayers sung by Lord Shiva and gives facility to others to hear them, certainly becomes free from all bondage to fruitive activities. Purport. Mukti, or liberation, means becoming free from the results of fruitive activities. As stated in Srimad Bhagavatam, Muktir hitvanyata rupam. Mukti means giving up all other activities and being situated in one's constitutional position, swarupena vyavastitihi. In this conditional state, we are entangled by one fruitive activity after another. Karma bandhana means the bonds of fruitive activity. As long as one's mind is absorbed in fruitive activities, he has to manufacture plans for happiness. The Bhakti Yoga process is different, where Bhakti Yoga means acting according to the order of the Supreme Authority. When we act under the direction of the Supreme Authority, we do not become entangled by fruitive results. Just one second. Okay. For instance, Arjuna fought because the Supreme Personality of Godhead wanted him to. Therefore, he was not responsible for the outcome of the fighting. As far as devotional service is concerned, even hearing and chanting is as good as acting with our body, mind, and senses. Actually, hearing and chanting are also activities of the senses. When the senses are utilized for one's own sense gratification, they entangle one in karma. But when they are used for the satisfaction of the Lord, they establish one in bhakti. So, idam ya kalya uttaya, one who rises early in the morning, pranjali, and with folded hands, shraddhayanvita, with faith and devotion. Srinuyat, personally chants and hears, shraviyet, srinuyat shraviyet, and gets others to hear. Martya, such a mortal human being, muchyate, becomes freed and becomes immortal. Karma bandhana, he's freed from all the reactions or the bondage of fruitive activities. Mukta, he becomes a liberated soul, situated in his constitutional position of devotional service. There's this one line here which is striking. As long as one's mind is absorbed in fruitive activities, he has to manufacture plans for happiness. What is that in the Bhagavad Gita? Sankalpa prabhavan kaman, chakva sarvana sheshata. Sankalpa prabhavan kama. These material desires are all products of mental concoction. They're products of mental concoction. Elsewhere it's said, Prajahati yada akaman sarvan parta manogata, sarvan parta manogata, atmanyev atmana tushtasthita pragyastha. The same thing. This happiness of sense gratification is imaginary. And for this imaginary happiness, one becomes absorbed in plans for sense gratification. But when we use the senses for the service of Krishna, to carry out the order of Krishna, then there's no entanglement. What is that in the Bhagavad Gita? Padma Patram Ivambasa. There's also one thing I wanted to tell you, but you're leaving, so I guess just give me 1 second. I'll be right back with you in one moment. Thank you. Apologies. Okay. Yes, Saraswati.
Guru Maharaj, a question was asked. How does pleasing the spiritual master automatically mean that I will be happy? How is the spiritual master's happiness projected onto the disciple? Because here they talk about Arjuna. Yes, he wasn't entangled because he followed Krishna's orders, but that didn't necessarily imply that Arjuna was happy to do the deed of killing his family members and everything. So is it some magical process? That's what somebody asked in our class today. Hare Krishna.
Is it a magical process? How does one become pleased when the spiritual master is not pleased? There may be some temporary displeasure or unhappiness, but that's, what shall we say, superficial or only apparent. When one is situated in one's constitutional position, then one is situated on the platform of where there's absolute happiness. Yeah. The terms of how it works, well, two thoughts come to mind. One is naturally when the spiritual master is pleased, when the master is pleased, the servant becomes pleased. We're trying to please someone. When he's pleased, we become pleased. That's natural. The husband is trying to please the wife. When the wife is happy, the husband's happy. When the husband is happy, the wife is happy. Yes, when the teacher is pleased, the student becomes blessed and happy. So that's yes. Actually, any student will think, "Oh, the teacher is happy with me." So then the student becomes happy. Isn't that so? That's one thing. And another thing is Yasya Prasadad Bhagavat Prasad. When the spiritual master is pleased, then Krishna is pleased. And when Krishna is pleased, then our happiness is guaranteed. Is that okay?
Thank you so much. So Guru Maharaj, when Arjun followed Krishna's direction, even though that wasn't his first thing to do, what he wanted to do, how is it that they showed that he was very unhappy, like shooting those arrows and everything? Was that just for television effect? Krishna.
Yeah, well, I can't. It's hard for me to comment on, what we see in the film version. But what is that? Stitosmi gata sandeha karishe vachanam tava nashtamoha. Now I'm freed from illusion. So freed from illusion means one is on the absolute platform. On that platform, the so-called happiness and distress are no longer considered, or they're no longer, what should we say? Yeah, they're no longer considered. One becomes equal toward happiness and distress. It's no longer for the materialist, it's all about what will make me happy. I want to get happiness and avoid distress. That's my whole program. And if I don't get happiness, then then I'm miserable. But on the absolute platform, if Krishna is happy, then the devotee is happy. If Krishna is happy, the devotee is happy. Okay.
Ramesh, I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
How do we stay under the direction of the spiritual master after the disciple passes away? What is the connection there when the
Say that again?
When the disciple passes away? What is their connection with their spiritual master?
That's eternal. He's always connected. But exactly how that's manifest, that you'll find out. Hare Krishna. Itam mayedam naradeva nandana parasya pungsa paramatmana stavam chapanta ekagradiyastapo mahat Sharadvam ante tata abhyatepsitam. My dear sons of the king, prayers I've recited to you are meant for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supersoul. I advise you to recite these prayers, which are as effective as great austerities. In this way, when you are mature, your life will be successful, and you will certainly achieve all your desired objectives without fail. The devotees, again, thinking about that previous question, the devotees on a platform which is beyond the dualities of happiness and distress. He may sometimes be in apparent distress, he may sometimes be in apparent happiness, but his consciousness is no longer on the platform of such dualities. So whether he's in happiness or distress superficially is not what he cares about. He cares about pleasing Krishna. When Krishna is pleased, then the whole thing is successful. I'm just thinking of, in a mundane sense, some movie and the hero is trying to do whatever it is, knock out some tank division or whatever it is. And at the end, perhaps he's, what's the word? He's wounded and gasping for breath, but with his last breath or something, he throws a grenade and finally hits something and blows up the whole enemy encampment and dies happy, right? Even though he was in apparent suffering, he dies in great happiness, knowing that the objective has been achieved, right? Because for him, it wasn't a feel-good exercise, how to avoid bullets and stay safe in the trenches. His happiness comes from achieving the objective, when the purpose for which he's come there for the government service, the service of the nation is achieved. Then he feels, the greatest happiness, although apparently it's distress. So this is similarly the devotees on the transcendental platform. But whether there's happiness or there's distress, the devotee is on the platform of transcendental satisfaction or transcendental perfection. Okay.
I have
So,
a question.
Sorry
to cut you off, but I have a question. It's all right. We're
Yeah.
talking about the devotee thinks about pleasing Krishna and not pleasing himself. So how does that manifest in terms of hearing? I think in an earlier verse or one of these texts, we heard the hearing is pleasing to Krishna. So how does the devotee hear with that in mind, or do they have that in mind?
Yes, even I may not have such a great taste for hearing, but I know that if I dedicate some time to hearing, my spiritual master will be pleased. Of course, this is the Vaidhi stage of regulative principles, but the devotee thinks that no, I should dedicate some time to hearing because I know that will be pleasing to my spiritual master. That will be pleasing to Krishna. So, what is that? Krishna is pleased by service. Sevan mukhehi jivado. But what is service? Hearing is also service. Prabhupada says that in the purport. And hearing and chanting are also service. So what is the perfection of service? Perfection is Krishna is pleased. So when Shukadeva is speaking and Parikshit Maharaj is hearing, Krishna is pleased by both parties. It's not just that Shukadeva is active and glorifying the Lord with verses, so Krishna is pleased. He's also pleased equally by Parikshit Maharaj. Therefore, Parikshit Maharaj achieves perfection by hearing. Because the Lord is pleased. Yes, he's hearing about me. That's also there. Shrinvatam Svakata Krishna Punya Shravana Kirtan. Hridayam Takstohya Bhadrani Vidhunoti Suhitsatam. The Lord is pleased, so he cleanses the heart of the devotee. And it's specifically mentioned in the previous verse also. One who hears and engages others in hearing. Just like we ask people, chant Hare Krishna. So we chant and we ask them to chant. And that's called Sankirtan or Prachar, preaching. But this is also preaching. Please sit and hear. We're having a program. Come here. To engage others in hearing is still more pleasing, that we'll hear and we'll get others engaged in hearing. So that's even remembering. Krishna's pleased just to have us remember him. That's natural also. We remember somebody and the person comes to know that he remembered me, so he becomes pleased. Oh, he's thinking of me. So that psychology is originally in Krishna. Yes. When Krishna sees the devotee is thinking about me, that's counted as service. That Krishna becomes pleased. Yes, nice. How nice. Is that okay?
Thank you, Guru Maharaj. Yes. Saraswati Maharaj.
Guru Maharaj, just for some practical advice. Sometimes we learn something about Krishna or the spiritual master, Goswamis, and we become so happy that we just want to share it with everyone because we just want them to experience that same happiness that you have now, having learnt of some pastime. But sometimes you're afraid because you don't want someone to think you're being Miss Know-it-all, and that's not your intention in the first place. So sometimes you have to bite your tongue because you don't want to give someone the impression that you're a Miss Know-it-all. Hare Krishna.
We have to judge such things. It's not that we shouldn't want to parade our good fortune, that I have such a taste for hearing. I have such a taste for chanting. But when it's natural that we want others to hear and appreciate, that will be good. And, there's such a thing as getting, what's the word? Well, we say in America, mental, getting tied up in mental loops. If I say this, then he'll think this about me, but just chant Hare Krishna, speak about Krishna. It's not that we have to overanalyze everything and consider all possibilities of what people will think. Maybe if I speak about Krishna, people won't like it. Anyway, I'll speak about Krishna regardless. That's my business. Or they may think that I'm very proud because I'm speaking. Anyway, it's my business. But we should try to be humble, try to be to see that we're not looking for credit. But if that enthusiasm is there to speak about Krishna, good. Shouldn't be throttled. Hare Krishna.
I have a question.
Yes.
Regarding pride, what is pride connected to Krishna and connected to the spiritual master?
What is pride connected to the
Yeah, there's some purport somewhere like that, or maybe I've heard it somewhere that there is like pride that's spiritual. That's
Yes. We're proud that Krishna is so wonderful. Not that we're proud that we're great, but we're proud, just like a child is proud of his father, or the father is proud of the child. When someone we're connected to is great, we become appreciative and proud of them. In the material sense, of course, if he's great, that means I'm great. So that's our focus. But the pure form of the feeling is there. That we're so proud of Krishna. Krishna is so wonderful. Or in the spiritual world, that feeling is there practically, the feeling of which the mirror images in the material world. Yashoda Ma's feeling very proud of Krishna. He brought his father's shoes on his head. He's such a good boy. So there's pride, Krishna is so wonderful. The coward boys, our Krishna can do anything. He killed this demon, he killed that demon, he can kill any demon. They're proud of Krishna. Not proud of myself, I'm so great, but they're just proud. Krishna is such a wonderful boy. He does such wonderful things. They're proud of him. Is that okay?
I'm a bit lost in how we're using the word proud, because usually when we say proud, it's always connected to me. So how is it? It seems like admiration.
Mother says if you graduate summa cum laude or something, then aren't the parents proud? And of course, yes, it's connected to us, since there's a material subtext, but it's not that I did it. My son did it, but we become proud. My boy did this. Yes. So in the original feeling, proud of Krishna. Krishna is so wonderful. Is that okay?
Thank you. Yeah. Saraswati Mashi wrote a brilliant example to something some time ago.
Okay. So I think we were about to read this verse. Gitam mayedam nadadeva nandana parasya pumsa paramatmana stavam chupanta ekagradi astapo mahat Churadvamante tata apsyatepsitam. My dear sons of the king, the prayers I've recited to you are meant for pleasing the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Supersoul. I advise you to recite these prayers, which are as effective as great austerities. In this way, when you are mature, your life will be successful, and you will certainly achieve all your desired objectives without fail. Purport: if we persistently engage in devotional service, certainly all our desires will be fulfilled in due course of time. Thus end the Bhaktivedanta purports of the 4th canto, 24th chapter of the Srimad Bhagavatam, entitled Chanting the Song Sung by Lord Shiva. O Gita Maedam Nadadeva Nandana, O sons of the king, these prayers are for glorifying the Paramatma, the Parasya Pumsa, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who's transcendental to material existence. Japanta ekagrastyastapo mahat. To chant these prayers is as good as performing any great austerity. Japanta ekagratya. These prayers, japanta, not that they're chanted very loudly, but they're chanted. Ekagratya. Ekagratya means with fixed attention, with the mind and intelligence fixed. Ekantadya. Yes. So Charadvam, if you practice this, ante tata apsyata ipsitam, you'll achieve the desired results. And there's an interesting, or I found it interesting, that Prabhupada says that in the mature stage, you'll achieve everything. And therefore, in the purport, he says, in due course of time, all desires will be fulfilled. It's not that immediately, you know, like a machine, again, that you put your penny in the slot and you get something like a vending machine. You know, you put, what is it, $2.50 in the machine, and a Coke bottle or Coke can of Coca-Cola cascades out of the machine. Not like that. But for the devotee who's persistent or faithfully goes on chanting, Dhairya, who's patient and goes on serving, for such a person, the result is sure to be achieved in due course of time. Tatsvayam yoga samsiddha kalyanatmani vindati. Where's that verse? Praveen? Bhagavad Gita. Tatsvayam sarvasamsiddha samsiddhim kalyanatmani vindati. Let's see. Yoga samsiddhim kalyanatmani vindati. Let's find it, if it's coming. 438, thank you. Nahi gyanena sadrasham pavitramiha vidyate tatsvayam yoga samsiddhim kalyanatmani vindati shraddhaval labhate gyanam tatpara samyatendriyaha gyanam labdva param shantim achurena adhigacchati. For a person who achieves transcendental knowledge, Gyanam means not simply speculative knowledge, but one who achieves Dibya Gyan, knowledge of Krishna, Bhagavat Tattva Vigyan, Mukta Sangasya Jayate, who becomes liberated from material existence by being situated in transcendental devotional service. Jnanam labdva param shantim. Tatsvayam yoga. It's the purest thing, pavitramiha vidyate. And one who attains perfection in yoga, one will attain perfection of yoga. Tatsvayam yoga sangsita kalinatmani vindati, in due course of time. Shraddhaval labhate jnanam, a faithful person attains this transcendental Krishna consciousness. Tatpara samyatendriya, whose senses are controlled. And jnanam labdva param shantim. Achurena digashati. Achurena, once kalenatmini, in due course of time, but achurena, without delay. So sometimes it may seem like too long, but it's not so long. That story is there that Mukunda, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, said he shouldn't come anymore because he was associating with Mayavadis. And then Mukunda was feeling morose and disappointed and was asking, when will Chaitanya Mahaprabhu admit me back? And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that he'll be, he can come and meet me after 1,000 births. So then Mukunda became very happy. He began to dance, after 1,000 births, I'll meet Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again. Then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, all right, come on. So for a devotee, all right, it may take some time to become mature in Krishna consciousness, but then the greatest result is available. Yes, there's a question.
Saraswati Mataji writes, Guru Maharaj, someone stated that Radharani said that the more powerful...
That question?
Yeah, should I read it? It's a question. There's a question at the end. Should I read it? We're almost out of time. What do you think?
Someone going to read that question in the chat box?
Yeah. Can you hear me?
Or is it being read and I'm not hearing?
Can anybody hear me? Or is my audio broken?
You are audible.
Okay, now I'm getting it. I had my...
Oh, Hare Krishna, can you hear me?
Yes, now I can.
Okay, sorry, I was trying to read. Saraswati Mataji wrote, Guru Maharaj, someone stated that Radharani said that the more powerful is forgetfulness of Krishna, the more magnificent will be the remembrance of him. Can we take reassurance from this as a conditioned soul?
Well, first thing is, I'm not quite sure the context what the statement is contextually. But we shouldn't, for the sake of magnificence, we shouldn't powerfully forget Krishna so that our remembrance will later be magnificent. But I don't know I don't have a thought about it, to tell you the truth. But we can take directly, Krishna's instructions are there, that Rupa Goswami's instructions, patience, enthusiasm, confidence. No. Otherwise, I don't have a particular take on that statement. But we can be encouraged by Krishna's reassurances that just, what is that? Sarvadeham punarjanma layati mamiti. All right, shall we have kirtan?
Venkatesh Prabhu, would you be able to lead kirtan, a brief one, since we're almost at 8 p.m.?
Okay.
Thank you.
Namo Vishnu Padaya Vishnu Prishtaya Bhutale Srimad Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Ashatyana Shatarine Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare 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 Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare.
Jai Om Vishnupad Panamansa Paripraja Pacharya Stotra Shri Srimad A.C. Bhakti Vedanta Swami Maharaj Prabhupada Ki Jai Ananta Koti Vaishnava Vrinda Ki Jai Nama Acharya Srila Haridas Thakur Ki Jai Prem Sikaho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Jayādvaita Gadadhar Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai Sri Sri Radha Krishna Gopinath Sham Kund Radha Kund Giri Govardhan Ki Jai Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai Navdeep Dham Ki Jai Jagannath Puri Ki Jai Ganga Mai Ki Jai Jamana Mai Ki Jai Tulsi Devi Ki Jai Bhakti Devi Ki Jai Samaveta Bhakta Vrinda Ki Jai. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. All glories to the assembled devotees. Gaur Premanande Hari Hari Bol.
His Holiness Jayādvaita Swami Ki Jai.
Srila Prabhupada Ki Jai. Thank you all very much. Hare Krishna.